Okay, good morning, everyone. We're going to get started. Quite a full house today, goodness. Okay, so good morning and thank you for joining us at the Merced County Schools Annual Education Report right here in a beautiful downtown, though a little wet, Merced. For those of you joining us for the first time at MCUE's Downtown Professional Development Center, how many of you are here for the first time? Raise your hands. Okay, not many. Most of you have been here before. Give you a little bit of history, though. The building, built in 1928, is about to celebrate its centennial. It's opened as the Bank of Italy. So been here for a couple of years now. Absolutely love it. In fact, MCUE opened another building right down the road, the Thorington building, which we'll be talking about a little bit later in this report. I also want to thank the folks joining us virtually, looking at the camera here. This is live streaming. So to all of those joining us virtually, glad that you're not here because the room would be completely packed. It's very full right now. So I'm Nathan Cavedo. I'm the Communications and Public Relations Officer here at the County Office of Education. On behalf of the County Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Steve Tejan, and the County Board of Education, I'd like to thank you so much for being here today. This is our 13th annual education report. Our annual report is now a teenager. I have a teenager at home. Good and bad parts of that. This is usually the part in the script where I thank the host venue. So I would like to thank Dr. Tejan for his vision of a new professional development and event center right here in downtown Merced to not only serve MCOE, but also the school districts and the community. Yep. Being located right here in downtown Merced really has a lot of benefits, and it's important that we revitalize these older buildings. I'd also like to thank, I see everybody's eating right now, thank Jant's Cafe for this delicious lunch. Let's give them a round of applause. Merced High School FFA provided the centerpieces, and the Golden Valley High School Performing Arts will give us some performances here in a couple of minutes. So let's give them a round of applause. So you may notice that I've got about a dozen students over here to the left of me. I'm going to invite at this point Gabby Hicks over to help us with the flag salute. I ask that you stand and remain standing.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, please be seated. We have some honored guests in the room today. From U.S. Congressman John Duarte's office, Kriston Santos, right over here. From State Senator Ana Caballero's office, Jennifer Hidalgo. Merced County District Attorney, Nicole Silvera. Nicole's right there. From the Merced County Board of Supervisors, Josh Pedrozo and Lloyd Pereira. They're right over here. Well, and over there. Merced County CEO, Raul Mendez. From Merced College, Dr. Chris Vitelli. I saw him. There we go. He is here. I'm looking at this list, and there's so many board members. If you're a school district board member, can you please stand and be recognized? And I'll say the same for the superintendents. We have nearly half of the school district superintendents in Merced County in the room today. If you're a school district superintendent, could you please stand to be recognized? From UC Merced, Dr. Charles Nees is here. He is the Assistant Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs. And I apologize if I've missed, I did miss someone. Merced City Council, all right, I have not seen Mayor Matt Serrato. He's on the list. I'm sure he'll be here at some point. But we do have City Council member Sarah Boyle. Merced City Council Member Ronnie Deanda. And am I missing anyone else? Any other elected officials? Okay, looking around the room here. All right. So next up, I would like to introduce the Assistant Band Director at Golden Valley High School, Stephen Diaz, to tell us about the performance we're about to see.
Thank you, Nathan. Good morning, everybody. My name is Stephen Diaz, and I am the Assistant Band Director at Golden Valley High School. I want to extend a heartfelt thanks to MCOE for hosting us today and our performance. It's an incredible opportunity for our students to showcase their talents and their hard work they put in every single day. Our performing arts program here at Golden Valley are one of the strongest here in the Valley. In my time as a young educator, I've not witnessed such a cohesive and dedicated team of educators. With over 200 students in our music program, over 400 in our theater program, and many more talented artists on campus, we continuously find ways to highlight what matters most, our students. In our program, collaboration is key. Each year, we work closely with our theater program and for their spring musical, providing a live pit orchestra and vocal direction. This year, we introduced a vocal music audition clinic for all theater classes on campus, and helping students overcome their stage fright and discover the joy of performing, and kind of just showing that, singing in front of your friends isn't really that scary. Before you today, I'd like to introduce the Golden Valley Concert Choir. They will be performing two selections today that showcase their musical and language literacy, a Latin piece titled Gaudeamus Odie by Erling Rentz and Bonseaba by Victor C. Johnson, which is a Zimbabwean celebration song accompanied by three of our talented percussionists down there. When I first started here at Golden Valley, I only had about 6 members in our choir, but in less than a year I've grown to 16, and with more students expressing interest in joining every month. Last semester, our choir had the pleasure of participating in a festival competition at Fresno State, and they achieved the tier of excellence, which is just one step away from the very top placement. This is unheard of for young choirs such as ours, just to go out there and place that high so early in the season, which is truly a testament to our students' hard work and dedication, so I'd like to give them a round of applause as well. Beyond choir, we're proud to offer 9 performing groups at Golden Valley. We have 3 jazz ensembles, 2 concert bands, 2 winter guards, 1 winter percussion group, a chamber ensemble that plays collegiate level repertoire year-round, and of course, our renowned marching band, the Golden Valley Cardinal Regime. The support of music education in our community is truly outstanding, allowing us to achieve remarkable milestones, such as going undefeated in the competition season, and receiving invitations to prestigious events like the National Hollywood Christmas Parade, Disneyland, and most recently, we're excited to announce we've been invited to the National Pearl Harbor Memorial Day Parade in Hawaii. Yeah. Thank you. None of this would be possible without the unwavering support of our admin and our district and our community, and of course, all of you here today. Thank you for your continued support, and without further delay, the Golden Valley Concert Choir.
Gaudeamus Odie, Gaudeamus Odie, Gaudeamus Odie. Gaudeamus Odie, Gaudeamus Odie, Gaudeamus Odie. Alleluia, Gaudeamus Odie. Alleluia, Gaudeamus Odie. Alleluia, Gaudeamus Odie. Alleluia. Gaudeamus Odie, Gaudeamus Odie, Gaudeamus Odie. Gaudeamus Odie, Gaudeamus Odie. Alleluia. Gaudete, gaudete, Gaudeamus Odie. Gaudete, gaudete, Gaudeamus Odie. Gaudete, 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 Gaudeamus. Gaudeamus, Gaudeamus Odie. Gaudete, Gaudeamus,
Oh, incredible. Let's give another round of applause. So, I'm going to move on to the bigger part of this event. I do want to acknowledge that Mayor Matt Serrato did sneak in here, so I got to say hey to him. And something that I forgot earlier, that if you come to any of the events that I'm hosting, we're going to take a couple of selfies real quick. We're going to start this side of the room, so need y'all to smile. Okay, now this side of the room. Okay. So we'll have another student performance to close out the show, and that they're also from Golden Valley High School. We'll have teacher Amber Kirby come and talk about that a little bit later. But I'd now like to invite Merced County Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Steve Tejan, up here.
Well, welcome back. I know that some of you, probably in the back of the room, were wanting to stand up and get into that percussion and choir piece. What a wonderful thing, huh? Having kids sing like that here at our annual report. So here we are, 4 years since we had to do a report and then close down. And the last couple of years it's been kind of a small group, but this year we're packed once again. It's really a pleasure to see everyone here at our downtown professional development center, where we love being a partner with our neighbors here in downtown. County Office of Education, this year our report is focusing on small school districts, but I'd like to spend just a little time talking to you about what the County Office of Education is and what it does generally. The County Office of Education is known as an education service agency, and it's a support system. It's a link between the State Board of Education, the State Superintendent of Public Instruction, the California Department of Education, and the State School Board. And it links all of those agencies down to school districts. And we are the main support provider for our districts as they try to work through and apply all the rules and regulations that those agencies in Sacramento create. As a service agency, the County Office of Education here in Merced has developed some unique programs that support our school districts in special ways. One of the things that county superintendents say when they get together is that, and we do that a couple times a year, they have the saying that if you've seen one county office in California, you've seen exactly one county office in California. That there are 58 different versions of what we do as we connect our school districts to the state. And our report this year has a specific focus on how we at MCOE help support the school districts that are smaller in size, under 2,500 ADA. As a service agency, there we go. As a service agency, we step into leadership roles or we step into support roles in virtually every function of a school system, depending on the size of that school system and what they need and what they ask for. MCOE operates specific student programs as well, and sometimes people think of us as a school district because we operate school systems, but really our main function is not the same set of functions as a district, although we do operate early learning programs for Head Start children and state preschool. We also operate alternative programs for students that have not succeeded in comprehensive school systems. We call those our Valley schools. We also operate a charter school for parents who want their children in a public school but don't want them in a comprehensive school, so we operate Scholars Charter as an independent study program. We also support students in over 90 classrooms that have the highest special education needs that are disabled across our county. And those are placed in our various districts around the county. So our special education program, supervisors do a lot of driving, as you might imagine, to make sure we support those kids. We also support, and that's all part of our nurture in our vision. We have a vision So I call it our moral imperative. Other people might call it our branding message. We nurture, we serve, and we lead. We nurture really the most needy kids in the county. We serve all 20 of our districts, and we help to provide leadership opportunities for educators across the county as well. So as a service agency, MCOE joins with other county offices to advocate for change to state and federal education policies with a local focus on our earliest learners and special education students. So as an example, over the last couple of years, county superintendents banded together to have the state legislature pass legislation that allows special needs students with high disabilities to actually earn a diploma. For years, they were excluded from earning a diploma. But now those students with special needs that can't complete a standard high school program may still earn a diploma, thereby getting them access to future employment because so many employers do expect to see a diploma. So we're excited that as a county superintendent's group, we were able to have an impact on the legislature for our special needs kids. So another example of service to districts is the number of days we spend supporting teachers here in Merced County. Again, a unique feature of Merced County, our staff development program has our coordinators go into schools, coach teachers, provide pedagogy, and then teach in their classrooms right alongside of the teachers. When I started here in 2016-17, we had about 50 days we spent in those classrooms across our county. Today, it's over 2,000 days in our classrooms. So we've expanded greatly because we have a really talented staff. We have superintendents that are dedicated to the improvement of their programs in their schools, and we're making a real difference. In fact, that was driven in a sense by conversation that I had with my opponent, Richard Lopez. When Richard and I ran and the election was over, he said, "So Steve, what are you going to do to help us small school districts?" Right, Richard? Yes, sir. That's right. And so we've been working at it. So community partnerships is another thing that we have really worked hard on here in Merced County that, again, is unique to our county, as well as many other counties, but they're all different in how they evolve. So our community partnerships include a connection to our probation department in two different ways. Probation, through the support of our friends at the County of Merced, has funded a program called Rise to Higher Grounds, and you may have seen the coffee trailer around town. Our ROP Career Tech program operates this particular program in conjunction with our juvenile hall, and probation department brings kids out several times a week to become baristas. And it's a reward activity for those kids that are in the juvenile justice system to come out and serve you at the coffee trailer. So if you see that around town, you can go on our website and you can find out where it is every week. But if you see it out on Yosemite, at the Yosemite Center next to the Kids Museum, stop in and have a cup of coffee. Those are kids that are changing their ways as they learn to be productive citizens as they come out of juvenile hall. One of our other wonderful community partnerships is with the El Capitan Hotel. And I'm not sure if, is Robin, okay, Robin's in the audience. What a great program this is. Our special needs students that are in the transition program, that's the 18 to 22-year-old group of students that are leaving us as a formal educational setting in special education, have a chance to work at the hotel. And they work in the service area and help take care of hospitality in the hotel. And we're grateful to the hotel for that opportunity. And I think they love having the kids there as well. Adore it. Thank you. One of our most recent efforts in collaboration has been this collaboration over the past year with our district attorney. And Nicole's here. And what a fabulous idea she brought to us. While the phrase is not uplifting, one pill will kill, it sends the perfect message that fentanyl is a killer. And when we travel out with the sheriff and talk to kids, as we did this past December across the county, he reminds kids that they change lives. There's a little competition. Several schools, about 8 schools, submitted videos that are going to be used for ads that kids have created to remind their same age group that fentanyl is a killer. And when we went out and visited schools, the sheriff looked at those kids and said, you know, you're going to change lives because of your messaging. And I have to stop glancing down here at my wife because she's making me get emotional. And you know, the antidote to that, I have the perfect antidote to that. The perfect antidote, Steve said to me ahead of time, Steve, if you get emotional, just look back at me, I'll fix it. So Casey's back there, and it's creating some resiliency for me, and that's our next bullet to talk about. Our Resiliency Center, again in connection with Merced County Behavioral Health, is opening down the street at the Thorrington building, right across from the Mainzer Theater. It's a great opportunity for MCOE and behavioral health to partner to make sure that our children in Merced County have the mental health resources they need to be healthy and avoid making the terrible decision to attempt suicide. And so we're excited that that program is in place. It had to have a local LEA. Behavioral health came to Merced County Office of Ed, and we bought a building to house that program in conjunction with the county of Merced. People keep saying, Steve, are you going to buy all the property downtown? No, not all the property, but we want to make sure that we are able to house these new programs that are coming from the state. One of the key facts that's not in the program I should mention is in the last 8 years, our county budget has grown from about $120 million to about $180 million a year. Now, that money has come in partially because of the COLA adjustments. About $12 million of that can be attributed to COLA adjustments, but the other $48 million of that $60 million really has come from the hard work of the county staff, the County Office of Education staff, that have gone after grants and grown programs to support the needs of children here in Merced County. So when we look at who we are as a county, we need to recognize a couple really important things. We're not like every other county in the state. In our county, there are 20 school districts, which given its population of around 60,000 students, 59, just under 60,000 students, it's a pretty sizable number of districts. If you look at our neighbors, north and south, Madera County, about 35,000 kids and 8 districts. And so the county office there is much smaller than our county office. If you go down a little further into Fresno or Tulare County, a lot more students, and Fresno County's budget is about the same as ours at $180 million. Now, that is because decisions that have been made in the past by previous county superintendents that said, we want to do these really good things for our community. So our county office has grown in ways other county offices haven't. I want to thank Steve Gomes for some of that work. Steve's with us today. So we serve these 20 districts, students and families. We have a graduation rate I'm really proud of at 92.5%. That comes from the work of our school districts and a program that was established about 10 years ago called come on, Steve, help me. Project 10%. Thank you. Thanks, Nathan. So Project 10% was established back during District Attorney Morris's time, and it was targeted at 8th grade students, getting them to commit to graduate from high school. During COVID, the program had to be put on the shelf for a couple years, but it's back, and now it's focused on 6th grade students. And we have several districts in the room that have jumped on board the new pilot that is being led by Vernette from UC Merced to bring our 6th grade students to actually the campus and see what college looks like. And so we're excited that we're able to continue this program in a new and challenging way. And Vernette and the UC staff, thank you so much for what you do along with the county office. So as we look at community demographics, I'd like you to keep something in mind because, you know, there are times when Merced County is criticized for its educational outcomes. People look at some of the adult data, demographic data, and they see a 25% of our population does not have a high school diploma. And that's kind of a shock. And so what you have to do is you have to take a deeper dive into the data. And so during COVID, we were also doing realignment of our areas, election areas for our school districts and their county office of education. As I was looking at the census data by census area, I discovered something kind of interesting, that the areas where there's a high immigrant population that isn't able to vote, there's also a high area of a lack of a high school diploma. And so when you consider that our area is an agricultural area, we'll always have a landing zone for immigrants. We're always going to have the challenge of bringing parents into our communities and encouraging them to have their children be successful in school. And so when you see that, gotta look at Casey again. So when I see that percentage, I think, now I got water. I think about all the hard work that our teachers are doing to make sure those kids graduate. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty outstanding outcome. So the glass of water is half full. One of the other things that we really enjoy doing here at the County Office of Education is a focus on student events. And why do we do that? We spend a lot of time on student events because it's an opportunity for kids to really dig in and engage in things, content and contests and talents that are outside of the classroom. And we have a lot of teachers across the county that support kids as they participate in, whether it's a speech contest or a poetry contest or a writing contest or the academic decathlon or the pentathlon or one of the many choirs that the County Office of Education supports. It's really an amazing thing to see those kids succeed, as you did today. And that doesn't start in high school. It has to start in elementary school. So it starts in Weaver, it starts at Merced City, it starts at the County Office of Education. And we really thank your commitment, board members, to the arts. These events give kids a chance to succeed and shine outside of a classroom. And so about 7,750 kids participate in those student events every year out of that 59,000. I'd love to see that be 20,000 kids, but that number is growing every year. Special events that we include for visual and performing arts, support are the children's choir, Jenny Samuelson runs. It's Wednesday afternoon over at the Yosemite Center next to the museum. The honor choir, that just performed this past month. Poetry Out Loud was just held this last month at the MAC. And children's concerts are coming up with a symphony as well as the UC Children's Opera. And this year, the UC Children's Opera will not be held on the campus. It will actually go to each of the school districts to perform. It's going to be a busy week for those folks. So a large component of work that MCOE does focus on special needs students. As I mentioned, we have over 90 classrooms, and we celebrated this past year 50 years of high quality service to children at Shelby School just outside of Livingston. But you know, Shelby School actually existed for a number of years before that facility was built. It was housed in a home in Livingston that was donated by a doctor from Livingston, and it started in the mid-60s. And something I learned when we were having the Shelby anniversary was that there were people that were assigned to Castle Air Force Base with special needs students. And so throughout the Air Force, it was well known that if you had a special needs student, you wanted to take an assignment to Atwater, California, to come to Shelby because your child would be taken care of. Pretty cool. One of the other areas that we spend a lot of time with is career training, and I know that many of you are concerned that schools today spend too much time focused on simply going to college. The reality is here in Merced County, we have a number of superintendents that are focused on opportunities for kids and choices for kids after high school that include the work world as well. And Alan Peterson is leading that charge really in a statewide way. So Alan, thank you for that work. We had an opportunity to have the Department of Finance come down to Merced County from Sacramento last month and visit a program at LeGrand High, the Medical Pathways Program. And it's pretty incredible. They have passed a bond and they built a medical training facility in LeGrand, and it's doing an outstanding job. In fact, the photograph you see behind me is an anatomage table where the students were able to explain to the visitors from Sacramento about the human physiology that you can see on that table. There are 6 different bodies stored in that table that were real people, that they had made all the digital images of, and the kids could scroll right through them and tell those visitors from Sacramento how important it is to have connections like the ones we have between our high schools, our community college, and our UC system. And so we're making a real effort here in the Valley to connect Sacramento to what it is that we're doing with kids in schools. And I'm happy to say that LeGrand made quite the impression on our friends from the Department of Finance. They're the ones that build our school budgets, by the way. You might think the governor does, but really it's the Department of Finance, so we want to make sure they know what we're doing. The Phoenix Project is another one of those career training programs that I have to mention. It's run by our program at the county office, and it, again, connects to the probation department, and it provides career training opportunities for former incarcerated adults, both men and women. And when you come to those graduations, it's really powerful because you've got people that are coming in with hope because they've got a degree, they've got a certificate where they can go get a job, pay for housing for their family, pay for their child support for their family, pay taxes, and be productive members of society. And they are grateful for that. So once again, vision of our MCOE career tech folks and our probation department and our county board of supervisors that supports all of that. So again, a unique kind of program in Merced County because of the vision of all of us in the room. Camp Green Meadows, we can't move on until we talk briefly about Camp Green Meadows. What an amazing experience. How many of you in the room have either attended or had a child attend Camp Green Meadows? Around the room, that's amazing, that's fantastic. Camp Green Meadows is, for those of you who haven't or don't know about it, it's our outdoor 6th grade outdoor education program. And kids are up there 3 days to a week to learn about the environment and build relationships with other kids, to learn how to be an adult. And it's an amazing experience for kids to go up, learn to be a cabin leader, learn to get along without their parents telling them to get along. And they come back, many times they come back and their teachers say, wow, Steve really grew up. I didn't expect him to behave that well, but man, did he do a good job. So it's having an impact for our kids here in Merced County in many ways. So in the last 8 years, Merced County has committed over $3.4 million to the improvement of Camp Green Meadows. We are currently in process of finalizing a design for a new cabin in the Boys Village, and that cabin will be replicated in the Girls Village next year, we hope, with a community partner. And we're looking forward to a future where we expand the cafeteria kitchen facility as well. So more to come. It's a big piece of improvement that you'll never see and you'll never hear talked about besides me at a luncheon is the septic system was also fixed because we're right next to a stream, and boy, that was an issue for the Forest Service. So Camp Green Meadows continues to grow. We've grown over 600 students again this year from where we were in the past, and we're excited about the collaboration with our local districts there. School accountability is one of the reasons you come, and you want to know about how your schools are doing in your districts. And there was a pause on the school dashboard for a couple of years because we didn't have any comparison data. Well, guess what? The comparison data is back. And so if you use the QR code, you can click on a link and go to your local district. We don't have enough room to go through every district, and besides, I don't like to do that because I believe personally it's not just a test score, it's about everything that goes on in a school that creates a student's experience. But you can go into the dashboard through the QR code and take a look at what your local schools are doing. The scores, again, are separated by content area, English and math primarily. And there are also other measures now on the dashboard you want to look for. The school culture measures about expulsion and suspension and absenteeism, which help you understand what the school's challenges are as well. When you look at that data, many times it's just a judgment. And really, we're asking members of the public to move away from that perspective of just judging schools based on a test score. You want to understand the student experience by understanding all the data. So take a look at the dashboard when you have a chance. So getting to the theme now, I'm going to sit down pretty quickly here of looking at our 14 school districts that are under 2,500 students in Merced County. That's equal to about 14,000 students are in schools in Merced County that are under that 2,500 threshold. And we use that 2,500 threshold because the state uses that number as a way to separate our school districts from some legislation. So for example, if you're under 2,500 students, you don't have the same requirements for the reserve for your budget. You're allowed to have more than a district that has more than 2,500 kids. It's a question of scale. When you're a smaller district, many times you need to have a larger percentage because the money goes faster, because people are expensive. And so smaller school districts have no ceiling on that, or not the same ceiling on their reserve amount. The small school districts sometimes also get let off the hook on other legislation. Another one that comes to mind when I think about this is the start time legislation that was passed a couple of years ago. Large districts have some regulations about you can't start any earlier than 8:30 in the morning for high school. In a small school district that only has one set of buses to run kids around from school to home, that is not practical because you can't do multiple runs when your geographic size is so large and your number of students is small. When we think about the geographic size of these districts, they're really quite large for the population they have. And so there are multiple challenges that enter into the scene for that. So I guess it's time to take a look at the video and have you listen to some of the small district superintendents that work closely with MCOE and how they view services that we provide. Hi, I'm Steve Teachin, Merced County Superintendent of Schools, and I have the pleasure of serving here at Merced County Office of Education as the County Superintendent. The Merced County Office of Education serves a variety of students with a variety of programs across Merced County. Those programs include things like our community schools. We also serve students that are moderately to severely handicapped, and there are over 90 classrooms across the county that serve these children in their home area. As a former small school district superintendent who served in a geographically isolated school district, I realized coming to the county office that we have a unique role to fulfill for our colleagues who are superintending in those school districts. Our staff here at Merced County Office of Education operates many times as a district office staff for our small school districts.
LeGrand serves a population of 330 brilliant young scholars. The challenges is we have the same requirements, same reporting that the largest districts in the state have to do. And so there's all these equity issues in terms of small districts that we have to be very creative Why shouldn't our students be afforded the same opportunities as anybody else? There should be no barriers in terms of giving our students access to state-of-the-art technology or instructional strategies or resources.
Planada Elementary School District is a two-school district. We serve just under 900 students. I've served 18 years as a superintendent in our county, the last 13 here in Planada. So I understand the complexity of leading a small district. And if it wasn't for the partnership and the relationships that we have with our County Office of Education, I wouldn't be the successful leader that I feel that I am because of the resources that they're able to provide.
The Balico-Cressy School District is a small rural school district, and we serve a diverse population of about 350 students. I frequently discuss with staff the fact that I never cease to be amazed at the number of systems and people that it takes to pull off a single day of school. The Continuous Improvement Program at the Merced County Office of Education helps to look at data within our systems. We noticed that we needed a lot of support in mathematics. And so we contracted with MCOE to have math coordinator Katie Cohen come out and work directly with teachers and students, doing coaching, planning, demos, bringing everything together and really helping us to build thinking classrooms.
So this last year, 2 of our districts were faced with flooding. And when that occurred, what happened was the Sacramento Office of Emergency Services reached out to the County Office of Education because we can mobilize pretty quickly and bring resources to bear and connect the Office of Emergency Services in Sacramento with the right person in the local school district. And those connections happened very quickly last year. I'm really proud of not only the work that we did here at MCOE, but the work that our county superintendent colleagues did to overcome that crisis.
Dr. Tejan played a pivotal role in helping me navigate how we were going to continue to provide educational services to our 850 students while we had the catastrophic floods in the community.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, those days were some of the darkest and most challenging days of my career, and Dr. Tejan worked tirelessly to advocate for us at the state level so that education had a voice at the table and that we could make good decisions for our county.
As a County Office of Education, one of our key areas of focus always is fiscal oversight for our small districts. We also try to make sure that we're responsive to any other need that our superintendents have identified in their school district. So if there's a challenge with curriculum development, if there's a particular need in a content area where they need to have support, we try to provide that for them.
Small districts are reliant upon external supports, and the county office has been instrumental in helping us achieve our mission. They bring high-level practitioners that know what they're talking about. They make it accessible for us through the pricing.
MCOE is vital to a small district. It's a little bit of a challenge or barrier not having content specialists. We lean on MCOE for the math expertise, for professional development and curriculum development. We don't have an ELD, ELA coordinator, but MCOE does, so we use their expertise. Same thing with science, so that is a huge support.
We absolutely could not do what we do without the support of MCOE. From the person who delivers our district mail and tells us a joke and makes us smile on the way out, to the guys in the print shop who keep our student incentives going. IT, the other morning we had a power outage very early in the morning before school. When I arrived on campus, the MCOE team was already here reassuring me that our systems would be up and running within 15 minutes of restoring power. So proud and honored to be participants in the Writing Festival and the Speech Festival that MCOE hosts. We participate in Academic Pentathlon, to the fiscal department, who we affectionately refer to as our colleagues in the D building. The MCOE fiscal team helps provide oversight so that we are sure we're accurately calculating and reporting data and information around funding, expenditures, and revenues. And just a couple of days ago, we were contacted by MCOE, and they noticed that there was a significant discrepancy between the numbers that we reported last year. So they had us go back and take a look. We found an error. We were able to fix the error, and it made a difference of about $1 million to our school district.
One of the things I notice is, there's only a certain amount of bandwidth that my instructional staff has. And so what I've seen through the training that MCOE has offered, the level of instruction, the level of math content knowledge, the level of engagement with research-based practices in mathematics coming from the county office being put into practice in my classrooms. And I owe it to the work that Dwayne and his team in the county office have provided. I'm proud of the work we're doing, and I'm very thankful for everything the county's offered in that area.
Sacramento has asked our county offices across the state to provide something called differentiated assistance for schools. Every school district has a different set of needs to improve. So I'm happy to say that we have created a system here in Merced County where we're able to work side by side with our small district superintendents and provide them the needs that they've identified to help improve their system. To Bliss and to Jose and to Scott for being our on-screen talent this year. I didn't pay them to say any of those nice things, although I maybe should afterward. But one of the things that Bliss mentioned, she isn't able to be here today. There's another issue back home. But I was reminded of the fact that so many small district superintendents have to carry the load of dealing with keeping their campuses safe, not only physically for their students, but safe now on the web. And our specialty team, our information systems team at Merced County Office of Ed, led by Janet Riley, has helped keep our systems safe in the last several years as schools are attacked more and more often. In fact, I just learned recently that school districts are the #1 target now of hackers, because if they get our school information and they have sensitive IEP information or student record information and start publishing it, the school district has some real grief. And so we had a presentation just recently as county superintendents on the size and scale of these attacks, and over 50% of the school districts in our country have been attacked by cyber hackers. And I know that we've had some here in Merced County, but we've brought sources into play, and we've doing trainings on an ongoing basis to make sure that our teaching staff know not to click on those links, because we are sending out phishing emails regularly to make sure they know, no, that's phishing, we're not going to click on that link. So as we talk about size and scale, I've already mentioned some things related to the differences in small school districts, but I have to say that as a former employee of two small school districts in Tulare County at the same time, one was 1,500 kids in an elementary, and the other was 800 kids in a high school district, and they were too cheap to hire two superintendents, and I was dumb enough to say yes when they offered me the job. I did that for 13 years, and I know how difficult it is to wear all of those hats. And it really is a testament to our small school district superintendents that they've stayed in those positions for the years that they have, because we also have a really unique characteristic here in Merced County, and that's the stability across time in our school systems. Another one of the scary pieces of data that's come out of post-COVID is the number of retirements that are happening not only in the teaching corps, but also in the leadership corps. I was talking with the county superintendent a couple weeks ago, and he's lost 80% of his administrators, principals, and superintendents in the last 3 years. Think what that does to creating instability in systems. We are so fortunate to have a stable leadership corps here in Merced County. So small schools, next piece of data there, 14,000 students, 14 districts. 67% of the geographic area of our county is included in that statistic. So you have to understand the size of the territory that these superintendents are covering to make sure those kids are in school and the support systems they need, like our partnership with the DA's office and the school attendance review boards that help keep our attendance rates up. In fact, Livingston Elementary School District was just identified by the state as one of 20 school districts in the state since COVID that has increased their attendance to a level that approaches pre-COVID numbers. So Andres is in the back. Great work there. The next slide is captures our friend Scott as he is in a classroom and working on reading with his students. But one of the things that we want to point out here is that our advocacy actually covers more than one county. Our migrant program reaches into Madera and Stanislaus County, and we serve the children of migrant families across 3 counties, making sure that they have special activities to involve their parents and engage parents and families in the educational program so that when those kids move from one district to another with the challenges of working in agriculture, they're not lost. The other issue that I want to mention is we talk about credentialing. We have had a number of retirements over the last couple of years. And if you dive down into the data, it's not on the state website. I had to go back to staff today and talk, or yesterday afternoon, and double check with my folks that do the teacher credential work here. About 25% of our teachers in Merced County have 5 years of experience or less. That's the rate of turnover and retirement that's occurring now across the system in our profession. And again, another one of the really important reasons that the County Office of Education provides ongoing staff development for our teachers. Our continuous improvement program is one of those things that we do that's led by Adrian now. And what we're doing with that is providing staff development, as I've talked about, for teachers in classrooms, after school, coaching, and then working with principals to make sure the principals know how to support their teachers as well when we're not on campus with those teachers. It's a terribly important link to make, to have the daily supervisor of instruction know what the teachers are doing and why they're doing it. And we're excited that our districts have really bought into that concept. One of the other key factors for school improvement is having principals, of course, up on the latest information regarding leadership. And so we have, again, a great relationship with Scott Borba, who sits on the board of the National Elementary School Principals Association. And this year, we put together a fabulous series of seminars for our elementary school principals. Over 50 of them attend out of 107 schools in the county. And they're getting leadership tips and training from some of the top leaders across the nation. And I want to thank Scott for his effort, along with Emily, who co-chairs that Insight. So thank you very much, Scott, for that work. If it weren't for Scott's contacts, we couldn't have made that happen. So the next slide is just kind of reviews what Jose has already shared with you, the support in times of crisis. Last year was an unusual year. I try to forget about COVID. I know Bliss mentioned it, but let's put that in the rearview mirror. But, you know, it's going to rain again. And so we've got to be prepared for these major events. And there are challenges here in Merced County with flooding, and we have to be prepared for them. And so Jose faced the worst of it last year. Andy, Kirsten, out in McSwain had it pretty difficult. We had buildings flood out on Cooper. In fact, our IT building was flooded at Cooper Avenue. And so we had to kind of fall back and punt to make sure things worked. And we did that pretty well. There was only one day when we closed school, and that was because the sheriff called me at 3 o'clock in the morning and said, "Steve, we don't want buses on the road. You need to call the superintendents and close school." So I made the mistake of sending out a text at 3 a.m. that no one responded to. So I started calling about 5:30, and everybody responded. And so we were able to close schools and keep kids safe because there was a lot of flooding. And then, of course, Jose really jumped on rebuilding Planada, and within a matter of weeks, he had his kids back in his school. So we were excited to be able to support that. And while those rainstorms were going on, one of our staff members who's since retired, Paul Baxter, did a great job of keeping all of our schools up to date with what the Office of Emergency Services was saying about the next storm and when it was going to come and how it was going to hit us and what we needed to worry about. So we add roles, we change roles as those things hit at the County Office of Education because, again, we're a service agency. So let me talk briefly about Education Foundation. My time is running out, and I really want to save a couple minutes for my favorite topic, which is the Virginia Smith Trust. So on your table, there's an envelope where if you choose to support the Education Foundation that was created about 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, the Education Foundation adds to all of the work that you've heard already around the arts and Camp Green Meadows. They sponsor kids that can't afford to go to these kinds of events, and they help support things like the STEM Fair and some of the other student competitions. And so over the last 4 years, the foundation has spent over $250,000 in support of student activities outside the classroom. And one of our board members, well, at least I know one of them is, or maybe two, Joe Doylan is here, a board member for our Education Foundation, Steve Gomes, and Mary Robinson from School Employees, not here today. I'll have to tell her, I called her out. But great work. They meet on a regular basis to help make decisions about where that money is going to be spent. And it's a great program. We'd love to have you support it. The Student Resiliency Center is next to the last thing we're going to talk about. We've mentioned it already, right down the street at Thorington. And it is funded by a $5 million state grant for student mental health. A piece of that grant was used to fund the building, but the rest of those funds are going to be used to create services that will be delivered both at the center and out in school districts. And that grant will be refundable again when this term runs out. So we're excited about that work. We think it's going to make a difference for kids because we know in today's world with what social media does to children, we need to have a chance to impact their mental health in a positive way. So thank you. Okay, Virginia Smith Trust. I promise I'll try to keep it short. So first of all, I want to say thank you to all of you that have attended an elected meeting of the Board of Supervisors or City Council over the last year. I've called on many of you to come out and be supporters for Virginia Smith Trust. Virginia Smith Trust, as you probably remember, you don't need the reminder, was the large chunk of land that was given by Virginia and her brother Cyril to the County Office of Education back in the early 70s, 1971. And that land was used to entice the regents of the University of California to place the 10th campus here in Merced County. And we are thrilled that we have our colleagues here with us today. We celebrate them every day. I drive by that campus regularly, and man, it's a beautiful thing to see that campus built out after the 2020 project. What they need, of course, is housing closer to campus and some commercial closer to campus. And VST happens to be, the VST property happens to be 650 acres very close to campus. And so this past year, we've had the Board of Supervisors entitle all 650 acres, which means we can build things on it. Number two, we've had the City Council approve an annexation as of this past Monday. Thank you very much, council members. And we are in negotiation right now for a purchase and sale agreement. We've already signed a letter of intent, but we've got a purchase and sale agreement we're negotiating right now to build apartments on that property so that we can help UC Merced grow a student population that they want to serve by 2030. It's really exciting stuff, and you're going to see an announcement probably in early May that will confirm that that sale is complete. I'm not supposed to say much more than that about it right now, but it's going to change the endowment tenfold in what we can give away each year. We probably won't see the scholarships go countywide until 2026, but last year we went to probate court and asked the judge, in fact he's here today, to address the will, because we can't spend all the money on just 3 high schools. If we have $3.5 million to give away, we need more kids. And so we're going countywide as soon as the spring of 2026. But that's not where it stops. Virginia Smith Trust has come under some criticism over the years over just helping kids going to four-year universities. And so one of the things that we've done with the annexation and entitlement of this property is that we have created something called a community benefit fund. So every time a home or apartment or a commercial property sells in the future, 0.3% of that sale is going to come to the Merced Education Foundation to be used for scholarships for kids going to trade schools or community college. So it's a big lift, and we're going to need some help out there eventually assigning those scholarships. So, because my 5 board members can't do it all by themselves. So we'll be looking for some help in the future. So look for that big announcement in May. Our final step to take is to go to LAFCO and have them approve the annexation. That should happen in June. And after June, you'll see dirt moving out at the VST property. Very excited about that. I'd like to wrap up by thanking our sponsors. Key sponsor that's been with us for years. Stiefel is here. Bruce and Erica, thank you so much. In fact, if Bruce hadn't been involved, Erica hadn't been involved, we wouldn't be in this building, because it was about 7 years ago that we came to them and said, we need a source of funding to make a purchase. We don't want to spend our reserves. We'd like to do a COP. And so Bruce and Erica took care of us, and we're in this building today because of the work that we've done with them. So anybody floating a bond or doing a COP, talk to Erica and Bruce before you leave. Also, right here in Merced, supporters that have been true to us all these years, and many school districts as well. Educational Employees Credit Union, thank you so much, right here in front. Our homegrown Merced Schools employees, Federal Credit Union, thank you so much for being here. Nancy, thanks for being here. And of course, our architect that's done this beautiful work and has worked with us on all of our projects. David's not here, but SKW does a great job. And also our credit union partner out of Atwater, Travis Credit Union. Andrea, thank you for being here and supporting MCOE programs. I'd like to now turn it back over to Nathan. He can wrap it up, and we'll have you out before 1 o'clock.
Ish, 1 o'clock-ish, let's see. Well, thanks everyone. I hope that my goal, I love my job. I have a really fun job, and I get to do all this stuff. I went to all these shoots. I talked with all these superintendents, learned in their school communities about what they're doing. And I do want to thank my team. I've got Hector back there. Everything that was designed in this book was designed by Hector. Nate Gomes is operating our live stream. He edited that video. He put that piece together. Kat Ochoa is our photographer today. There she is. Hey, Kat. She's our writer. She wrote most of the stuff that's in the book. And then our event staff, Stacy, Odessa, and Patty Espinoza, helped you come on in and helped you get lunch. So thanks to all of them. Okay, we are ready for our final performance. I'm going to invite up to the stage a longtime friend and colleague of mine, Amber Kirby. She is a visual performing arts instructor at Golden Valley High School. I just went to see Puffs over there. Oh my God, it was so much fun. If you like Harry Potter, like this was the other view of Harry Potter from a different house. She did Little Mermaid there. I'm thinking of another one that you did out on the lawn that we had, Scapino, that we had accompanying food with. I've been to nearly all of her productions. She's going to talk about some upcoming productions and a performance that we have next.
Thank you, Nathan. Thank you for inviting us here today. I am Amber Kirby, the program director of the Theater and Film Program Director at Golden Valley High School, and I'm very excited today to be joined by our new addition to the team, Miss Kaylee Cullen. Ms. Cullen, along with Mr. Diaz, will be directing the musical that's coming up, Legally Blonde Jr. So if you like the Barbie movie, you like that fun, empowering sort of female vibe, this is the musical for you. We're really excited to produce it. One thing that I want to say, I was very moved by some of the things you were saying today, because we are all alumni of MUHSD. Mr. Diaz was the drum major of the Cardinal Regime. Kaylee Cohen was My Wendy in Peter Pan and the drama club president. Mr. Vasquez, our band director, was one of the original members of the Cardinal Regime. And I was the thespian president at Merced High under Alan Bettis, also UC Merced alum. So we are a testament to the effect that your art programs do have on students, and that we do care and we come back. Back to our amazing program, we are very student-centered at Golden Valley High School. We collaborate together with the band, the choir, with wood shop. We all come together to produce all of our shows. I'm very proud to say that, and I want to thank the MCE Foundation, because we're also very pro-CTE, Career and Technical Education, and the MCE Foundation helped us send more students down to a college and industry trip that we're taking next month. On that trip, students get to audition for AMDA, they get to audition for other performing art colleges, get hands-on training from industry experts, and tour trade schools. So that follows along the California Perkins grant, and we're very proud to be able to say thank you to MCE Foundation for helping support more students on that trip. So don't forget to... So if you enjoyed today's performance with the choir and you enjoy our performance that we're about to put on, please come out and see Legally Blonde. For now, we're going to leave you with a moving piece from last year's musical, Percy Jackson. That is The Lightning Thief, based on Rick Riordan's novels, and a series now streaming on Disney+. No sponsorship. Percy Jackson is a young man diagnosed with ADHD. He has a hard time finding his place in the world, struggling as many of our youth do with the concept of being a good kid. Until he discovers that he is a demigod, son of Poseidon. And Isaiah Ramirez starred last year as Percy Jackson, and he is here to sing Good Kid. Thank you and enjoy.
Six schools in 6 years, been kicked out of every place. Everything I ever do is wrong, never find where I belong. Everybody on my case. The same old story, the same old song. Don't act up, don't act out, be strong. I keep my head down, I keep my chin up, but it ends up all the same. With pack your bags, Percy, you're always to blame. I never try to do anything, I never mean to hurt anyone. I try to be a good kid, guess I'm good for nothing at all. No one ever will take my side. All I ever do is take the fall. I swear that I'm a good kid. Guess I'm good for nothing at all. Gabe was a world-class jerk. Dad was never there. The only family that really mattered, well, she vanished into the air. And now I finally find a haven, someplace safe where I can stay till it's pack your bags, Percy. Now go away. I never try to do anything, I never mean to hurt anyone. I try to be a good kid. Yeah, Percy, that's a good one. No one ever will take my side. All I ever do is take the fall. I swear that I'm a good kid. Guess I'm good for nothing at all. The schools in 6 years, every battle, every day. No one ever tells me that they're proud. No one asks me, Percy, how'd you like to come around and stay? Get our bad grades and a bum rap and a bad rep and a good smack and no friends and no hope and taken away. I swear I never stole anything. I never meant to hurt anyone. I swear that I'm a good kid who's had a bad run. And all I need is one last chance to prove I'm good enough for someone. I'm good enough for someone. I'm good enough for someone. I'm good enough for someone.
Thank you, Isaiah. Incredible. And 1 o'clock on the dot. Thank you all so much. MCOE.org/annual report has all this information online. And thank you again for supporting public education in Merced County.